It says, while Israel was staying in Shittim, the men began to indulge in sexual immorality with the Moabite women, and that's in a site that we're going to go to later today. Another one would be Joshua 2. Joshua 2:1. Then Joshua, son of Nun, secretly sent 2 spies from Shittim. Go look over the land, he said, especially Jericho. So they went and entered the house of the prostitute named Rahab and stayed there. Okay, so where you're standing is the headquarters for the Israelites as they prepare to cross the Jordan. And of course they've taken this land as we're going to go through, and so they remain here too. And so when you read the Jericho account, we are actually right across the Jordan River from Jericho. If you go that way, you come to Jericho.
Joel, it's right there where the sun's shining.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
That
Sun's lighting it up.
Oh, wow. So that is Jericho, right there where Keith points out where the sun is shining. Now look, you see this road right here that they're doing construction on? This is an ancient route. So if you look up at the plateau up here, there is an important travel route that goes across the top of that plateau. Look at me, from south up to the north, right? Which is called the King's Highway. If you look on the other side, which you can barely see the mountain ridge there beyond the sun of Jericho. You see the mountain ridge there? When you're standing over on that mountain ridge on a clear day looking over here, it just looks like this. This ridge line looks like this. And when you're over here looking that way on a clear day, then it's a ridge line going like this. Most of your biblical cities are along that ridge line up there. Israelites are mountain people primarily. They're desert people only when they're being punished, right? And so you have a route called the Ridge Route along that one and the King's Highway along this one. So connecting those 2 routes is this route that you're looking at here that's being reconstructed. We're going to be on this route today. So let me just go over. We're going to be later today at Heshbon. Heshbon is up on the plateau, guarding the King's Highway and the turnoff, if we're going north, the left turn to go onto this route. Then it comes down to Peor, where we're going to end the day. Peor is on this hill that's straight in front of us, the one in the distance. On the other side of the valley to the north of Mount Nebo. You see where Mount Nebo is to the right up here, right above the mosque. Right above it to the right there, you see a building up there, that's Mount Nebo. Okay? So to the north, across the valley from that is Peor. On this ridge that's right in front of us. You'll understand by the end of the day because we're going to be up there. So it goes from Heshbon on this ancient route to Peor, down here to Abel Shittim, where the people were led astray, as we just read, up to Peor. And then if you continue down here, you go see the other tell down there in the distance is also on this route. Then you go down to the ford of the Jordan River. What people call the baptism site today, but keep in mind, way before it was a baptism site, it was where the Israelites crossed the Jordan River. Then you would come to Gilgal, and then to Jericho, and then you have a fork in the road at Jericho where you can go up to Jerusalem or you can go up to the area of Bethel and Ai. Okay? So, Abel Shittim. Now, let me go just a little bit earlier in Numbers. And I want to bring your attention to chapter 21 of Numbers. And if you see the heading above verse 21, it says the defeat of Sihon and Og. Okay, and it says, Israel sent messengers to say to Sihon, king of the Amorites, let us pass through your country. We will not turn aside into any field or vineyard or drink water from any well. We will travel along the King's Highway until we have passed through your territory. But Sihon would not let Israel pass through his territory. He mustered his entire army and marched out into the wilderness against Israel. When he reached Jahaz, he fought with Israel. Israel, however, put him to the sword and took over his land from the Arnon to the Jabbok, but only as far as the Ammonites, because their border were fortified. Okay, so here's the thing. We have, hey Ralph, keep your dog under control, man. So here's the thing. Think about this. How did Israel get on this side of the river? When they came up out of Egypt, they were specifically told by God, you are not allowed to attack the Ammonites, you're not allowed to attack the Moabites, and you're not allowed to attack the Edomites because they're your relatives. They're not allowed to attack all these people living over here on the east side of the Jordan. Then how did Israel get established on this side of the Jordan? And the answer is the Amorites. Not to be confused with Ammonite, Amorite. And the two kings of the Amorites on this side of the Jordan were Og. So how many of you have been up to Gadara or Umquase up in the north?
Yeah.
When you're looking down from that site on the Yarmouk River and across to what is called today the Golan Heights, that is Og's kingdom there, called Bashan. And then Sihon, this is his kingdom. You're standing in his kingdom, which stretched from the Arnon River further to our south, all the way up to the Jabbok River, not including the Ammonites, who were fortified where Ammon is today. Okay? So, they weren't allowed to attack their close relatives, but they were allowed to attack the Amorites, and they did. And so this site that we're standing in is part of Sihon's Amorite kingdom. We're going to go up to his capital later today. And so this is an Amorite city. Now I want to go into some of the harder stuff.